Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I have a great and wonderful day. And for the final clip, or the final thing of this video that I will be doing today, for it, guys, I promise it's the actual expose on Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, I know there are some people, old people, probably are thinking, oh, well, he's a Kennedy. He has to be good. This has to be an amazing thing, like, all is well. But this is not really the case here. We have a lot of things to where Robert Kennedy Jr. is just as bad as the far left. Again, I'm going to show you here a clip of him talking about the certain trans issues that he thinks. He says he doesn't know, he doesn't have enough information or what have you on the trans issues or whatever. And it's like, well, you need to know these things because these are a serious problem. Here's the thing, it's like you would probably just allow a bill to go through that is beneficial to the trans community, which would be negative to the trans kids, right? Because you just don't know. How can we vote for a man that doesn't even know about the whole trans situation at all? That's very weird, right? And he doesn't know enough information. Not enough information. So without further ado, my friends, here's the clip.
What will you do as a president to get this nonsense out to prevent kids under the age of 18, with or without the consent of the father, to transition? You may even say that is an okay policy you're a part of that many families disagree with. One, what's your position on this, and what will you do as a president?
I mean, my position is that people should not be able to have access to those procedures, that minors shouldn't, without parental permission. And, you know, I don't know enough about it, Patrick, to say that it should be completely illegal for
under
all
18?
No. Yeah, I just don't know enough. What I'm going to tell you, well, because I don't know.
But Robert, I mean, you're.
I don't. You know what? I don't know enough. There may be some rare cases where it saves somebody's life. I don't know that. I'm not going to tell you that I have an answer to a question.
There's a difference, but Robert, there's a big difference.
Let me just tell you this.
I just want to say that there's a big difference between those two things. One, saving somebody's life to transition and cut the dangling off. How are you saving that person's life? Some of these things, logically, they make no sense to parents. So parents are sitting there, because you're going to have to answer this for both parents on both sides.
There's conflicting values here, and one of the values is freedom. To do what you want with your own body and have the government tell you you can or you can't do that.
Who is protecting kids under the age of 18, though?
And that's the other, right? And that's why I say nobody can do it without their parents' permission. That's solid. And then I have to look at the drugs, the safety of the drugs, whether there's permanent damage from them. I just don't know. You're rolling your eyes like I shouldn't have. This is an obvious question.
Do you trust a 14-year-old driving a car? Without a driver's license?
Well,
do you trust a 13-year-old voting? What if a parent consents for the 13-year-old to vote? Should we be okay with that? Because a parent said it's okay. Should we trust a parent that?
13-year-old to vote.
I get that, but why should it be legal for somebody at 13 with parent consent to transition?
And this is what I have a problem with this guy, is that he doesn't know morally that having a parent say, oh, you could cut this kid's arm off, it's okay. And I know that's not what the parents are glorifying or defending, of course. No, that's not what they're doing. But put it this way. He, pretty much what JBD was saying, or PBD was saying, was pretty much like, oh, okay, so is it okay under the age of 18 that the parents are allowed to consent and say, yes, you can cut off this person's genitalia, you can cut off this person's breast or whatever, or what have you, because the parent thinks it's alright, even though it's not alright. It's not like they have cancer or breast cancer, etc., and Robert F. Kennedy cannot decide or cannot confidently say that is wrong. And that's a problem with me because morally, I don't want kids being butchered in this way. It's like, he doesn't know that, like, oh, well, are the drugs safe or not? What do you mean, are the drugs safe or not? Because you're towing the line of, like, anybody with any type of morality and did research on this knows that, like, okay, the hormone blockers sterilize the kids. There's, especially with the new report coming out saying that it is terrible for kids, that has no actual good benefits whatsoever. And the kids are being suffered, so we have to come into law. And it's a right to choose. Well, there is a reason why, like, there are some right to choose is not the correct one. Now, if they're an 18-year-old or a 20, I would say preferably 25-year-olds where they should do the trans surgery, but I digress. At the very least 18, then yeah, that's fine. They can do whatever they want. But when it comes down to children, we cannot just allow parents to just lop off arms or body parts just because they think it's going to help them. No. As I've shown you before, the trans Discord says otherwise. Now, here is a actual compilation, or a video rather, of you. I'm going to show you guys, to where he's saying all these things that is very far left. All about the, the Green New Deal is great and fantastic and all this stuff. And it's complete insanity, guys. Complete insanity. Take a look.
Jr., you said voter ID was racist. Is that true?
Maybe. I didn't see it. I had a lot of positions.
It's actually a comic book written by radical Democrat RFK Jr. Argues, among other things, that voter ID laws are, quote, I kid you not, racially rancid.
Red state people are more likely to murder you, to impregnate your teenage daughter, to commit a violent crime against you, to commit a non-violent crime against you, to watch Desperate Housewives on TV, to buy pornography, to buy, degenerate video games like Grand Theft Auto.
You've called for curbing, logging, oil drilling, fracking. You wanted to eliminate it. You called it a victory for democracy. You want to curb U.S. fossil fuel extraction. Keep it in the ground, you once tweeted. You want a ban on fossil fuel extraction, a ban on fracking.
They are contemptible human beings, and that, I wish that there were a law you could punish them under.
I think the Green New Deal is, all of that stuff is important, it's good, we ought to be pursuing it. I believe that we should use market mechanisms like carbon taxes. There's going to be major disruptions, not just to humanity, but ultimately to civilization, and this is part of the cost.
This man here is going out and say that voter ID is racist. How is it racist? Exactly. Well, where are you getting this from? I can show you right now that I have my ID. Black people are not incapable of having an ID. Kathy Hochul, the Democrats, have always looked down on black people. They have always come down and said that, like, oh, black people are not smart enough to get a voter ID. They don't know what an ID is. It's hard for them to get. Oh, it's like, no. Every black person has a voter ID. We have an ID. We are not idiots. We know how to use a computer. We're not morons. Stop looking down on us. And he's the same type of guy that is looking down onto black people. He's no different than the rest of the Democrats, guys. He is what we say is not the alternative. He's an alternative to Democrats, but he's not an alternative to Trump voters at all. He wants to ban fracking. Well, guess what ban fracking did, or removed fracking from our country, right? Our gas prices skyrocketed. We became less energy dependent. All of our sales went up. Like, it's insane, because when you ban energy, when you remove that type of stuff, what happens? Everything that we use in today in modern life is off of fossil fuels. So that way we can use it. Like, fossil fuels gives you the electricity and the batteries to actually be able to mine the batteries to get the vehicles, right? So everything is worked off of fossil fuels, and he wants to remove that and make our prices go even higher. That's insane. He is not an actual backup for anybody that is on the right at all, or in the middle of the center, or whatever. He will ruin this country, and it shows he has no spine or anything at all to say, this is the issue, this is the problem. He goes the line with what is the hot topic of the time, and then that's it. He cannot be trusted, and this is what he is truly. So hopefully you guys get to understand what RFK Jr. is. Just avoid this man. He is no better than Biden in this case. So just stay the total line. Vote who is correct, because this guy is obviously not it. Of course, he will still vote from Joe, so that's probably a good thing. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.